Hi Aquarius, welcome to Yellow Cardinal Tarot with me. My name is Carol. And Aquarius, this is going to be a general reading for October 2024. And in today's reading, we're going to be doing a reading called Healing Yourself. And it's a reading that's influenced by a woman by the name of Ina Siegel. And back in 2024, I had some intensive energy work. It was distant energy work from an energy healer in Australia. And while she was going through my chakras, and she would refer to this book, and she was reading from it, and it was amazing because what she saw in my body had reference points to what I needed to heal as far as emotions and different things that were coming up from my childhood. And so I finally said, what book are you using? And so she told me what it was, and I ended up buying it, of course. So it was called The Secret Language of Your Body, and it's by Ina Siegel. And that's where I was introduced to this woman who's very intuitive with the body, and it has all the secrets in there about what your body's trying to say to you when something's going on with it. So, and then I realized that there was a set of healing oracle cards that I saw came out by her. And so I thought, I have to get a hold of these cards. They were called Heal Yourself reading cards. And so they just came in a couple weeks, a week ago maybe or so. And I thought, I'm going to use this for my reading, my next reading, these healing cards. So this is what I'm doing. We're going to look at, and I like these healing cards because there's a specific theme that we're going to use that we're working on this month. So I'm definitely going to look at, what situation or problem or pattern that's showing up for you this month. But it's going to be something that's related to this theme for sure. And then I'm going to look at what's coming up from your shadow to heal that is, impacting and driving this situation that's coming up, that's going on in your life. And so we're going to be doing some shadow work there. And if you're unfamiliar with, how to do shadow work, I've left a really good video in my description box below. It's called My Powerful 4-Step Guide to Shadow Work, and it's all about facing your shadow. It's a video that I put together on my other channel called Carol Cares. And on that channel, there's a lot of videos about that you can use to heal you, to help heal yourself. And it's about emotions and just a lot of other different things on there. So, and then finally, I'm going to ask for some advice from the tarot as to how you can begin to heal what's coming up for you this month. And I say begin because this is a journey that we're all on, whether we know it or not. And we just do it a little bit at a time and when we can, right? Because sometimes, a lot of times it can be very painful. So, all right. And this is a process. This healing journey is a process for sure. So I'm going to pick a card. I'm a little bit nervous because this is my last reading. I've done 11. This is my 12th reading. I've picked 11 different cards. And so I'm going to shuffle this, and I'm a little bit nervous because I want 12 different cards. I think that's so cool, but I didn't think I would. There's 36 cards here. So let's see what card comes up for you, Aquarius, for October 2024. What theme are we working with? Before I do that, I just want to say to you one more thing is that I do offer personal readings. So if you're interested in a personal reading, there's a link below in my comment box and in the description box. And it'll bring you to my website, carolcares.com. And on that website, there's a page. You'll be brought directly to my tarot page where you can, look at, there's 6 readings there you can pick from. So let's go, Aquarius, and let's pick a theme for Aquarius this month, October 2024. I'm nervous. And I'll only choose one card here. Usually doesn't take this long. It's probably because I don't want to let them go. One card for Aquarius. What are we working on this month, Aquarius? Haven't picked it yet. Patience. I'm an Aquarian, so it's like, you know, here I am kind of sort of reading for myself. I get a little bit nervous thinking, oh, okay, what am I going to say? So, all right, we're going to be using the Tarot Grand Luxe to pick out 3 cards for you. I'm going to clarify with the vintage Tarot Vintage. I'm going to pick Spirit Oracle, Animal Oracle card for you at the end. And we're going to read what 23 is right now. I just have to get my little cheat sheet so I know what I'm talking about, so I remember what I read about this card. All right, so 23, what does this say about? Let's start off with 23, patience. You must develop patience in all areas of your life. Patience does not mean that you give up and do nothing. On the contrary, you need to be aware of several aspects of the circumstance that you are facing. Patience requires you to stop pushing, rushing, and creating potentially explosive situations. Instead, it asks you to see the bigger picture and become aware of the ingredients that might be missing. If you are impatient with a particular person, instead, give them space. Avoid jumping to conclusions and making up dramatic stories about a person or a situation without being aware of all the details. You have an opportunity to let go of judgment. Always look for the truth of the situation, not what someone is saying or doing, but why. Patience can also be connected to a health condition you are recovering from, a new diet or an exercise program you have embarked on, or a new course of study you may have begun. So, like all of the cards, it seems to say something, and it's kind of like, well, this can go in so many different directions for you, and it's all about healing. So it's like, okay, so in what area of your life right now, I mean, where do you need to see the bigger picture right now? Like, what area of your life do you need to be patient? No one likes patience, do they? All right, so I also have over here is the overriding energy for your reading. And this is taken from the yearly 2024 reading that I did for you in January. And I pulled 12 cards. And the card that I pulled for you in October is the King of Wands. And so the king of my deck is the masculine self, our masculine self. We all have a masculine and a feminine side to us. Doesn't matter what gender you are. But this particular masculine side is our ego self. And this talks about, you know, it's the wand. So it talks about that your creative purpose and where you want to take your life and what direction you want to go into. But the King of Wands doesn't believe in creativity or doing what, you know, you feel like is your passion, right? The king, the ego self would say, you know, things like that's not going to bring us money, or, you know, what do you mean you want to put yourself first? And, you know, so we'll see what that has to do with anything. So your ego self, you know, definitely could be out this month. It could be blocking you from certain things, but we'll see. So let's ask the tarot, and I've pre-shuffled these before I came on. So let's ask the tarot for what situation, problem, pattern are you dealing with right now? But I only want one card. Whoa. Well, it said, no, you're getting two. And I'm going to throw one on the floor and one on the table. So you have the Eight of Coins, which is the Eight of Pentacles. And that's interesting. We have a Pentacle card here. And the Three of Cups in reverse. And both of these are in reverse here for you. And how about one card for what's coming up from Aquarius' shadow that's requiring healing? The Four of Coins, which is the Four of Pentacles. And advice from the tarot, one card. You have the Emperor in reverse. And the Moon card in reverse. All right, so let's pull some clarifiers here for the Eight of Coins and the Three of Cups. 2 or 3 cards here. Not sure which one came first, but we'll put these two here. Okay. So to clarify these two, you got the Page of Pentacles and you got the Three of Swords and you got the King of Cups in reverse. So you have another king here. This time it's the cups. So we'll talk about that one. The 4 of Coins, some clarifiers for this, please. Couple more cards. Okay, so behind the 4 of Coins, you got the 7 of Wands, the Knight of Swords in reverse, and the Chariot card. And Emperor and Moon card. Can we clarify these, please? 2 cards, maybe 3 cards. Couple more cards. Okay, you have the Tower moment, and it kind of came sideways. I'm not sure. We'll put it upright for now. The Queen of Pentacles and the Empress card. All right, and then we'll pull an Oracle card at the end. Yeah, so we talked about, you know, the ego self being out here. Patience, what area? Where do you need to see the bigger picture? What do you need patience for? What's going on? All right, so what situation you're sitting in? We're going to start off with the 8 of Coins, which is the Eight of Pentacles. And the 8 of Pentacles in an upright position is someone that's doing this, this job. Whatever they're doing, they have a lot of passion. Sometimes it can refer to yourself if you're in a job right now, but you know, about doing a job that you really want to do, that it really is a purposeful job. It's giving you a lot of enjoyment, but it's in reverse here. And so there's something that you're doing, that's something that you've been doing that you were very, very passionate about, but it's like, I'm not passionate about it anymore. It's like you're losing passion. You've lost passion here. Something that you've been doing that you were once very passionate about, and it's something's going on here where you don't feel like that anymore. And then you have the 3 of Cups in reverse here, and the 3 of Cups is a card in an upright position of co-creation, and it really is a celebration. I'm mixing this up with Pentacles right now, and I'm thinking of the 3 of Pentacles. A lot of Pentacles come out here. So I just talked about Pentacles. 3 of Cups is a card about celebration, actually. And it's a card, when it comes up in my deck, it's like a feminine energy card where you have 3 feminine figures here, where it's just a card of celebrating how far you've come. And it's in reverse here. And so I think there's a part of you that, you know, you're losing passion about something that you've been doing, And then this card comes up and says, but look at how far you've come. And it's like, you're not seeing that. You're not seeing how far you've actually come. And it's, there's a part of you that's giving up here and getting discouraged. And yet, this card comes in and says, but look how far you've come. And you're not willing to see that. And you're not willing to consider that. It doesn't matter. It's not helping you when I say that. But look how far you've come. And it's like, it doesn't really help. So let's have some more clarifiers. You have this Page of Pentacles in the middle of your what's going on, your situation, your problem. And the Page of Pentacles is an inner child, and you only have one page on the table. Yeah, so an inner child is we have more than one inner child. Mainstream psychology likes to say that we have more, just one inner child, but we actually have more. And so this inner child right here is the page of the pentacle, and it's the page of self-worth, because the pentacle is all about your body. It can be about your self-worth. It can be about your health. And I'm seeing here that there's an inner child of yours that is needing healing, because all our inner children, when the pages come up, they need healing. They need to be listened to. They need to heal. And in this case, it's their self-worth. And there's some healing that needs to be around, feeling good about yourself and feeling worthy and feeling like you deserve something. And so right behind it is, here's the pain. Here's the pain that needs to be expressed. So there's some pain that needs to be expressed around your unworthiness. And, usually that means, if it's an inner child, it means there's some real grieving here that needs to take place of, when you were younger, and how you felt you were made to feel like you didn't matter, and you were made to feel like you were unworthy. And the last card that comes up here is your King of Cups. And so here's the other king here. And the first king was the one that was kind of talking about your direction and your creativity. And in this particular king, it's the King of Cups. And it's the ego self again. And so the king of the ego self wants nothing to do with emotions. The ego self is a very, very scared part, and it wants to keep you in your head. It does not want you to go into your body and feel those emotions. And that's where our inner child is, in our body, and they hold the emotions. But there's the ego self that's coming in here and going, don't you dare touch this emotion of feeling unworthy. And oftentimes it could be a feeling of, the shame that's behind that as well. But you're being blocked here by the king that does not want you to go inwards and feel this shame, feel this unworthiness. And that's where you are right now. And so what's coming out from your shadow that needs healing, that's really driving this need to feel this pain? Where's this unworthiness coming from? And so the Four of Coins talks about, it's the Four of Pentacles, and it's a card of the miser, where he's collecting all this money and he's holding on to it, not willing to share it with anybody. So it really is a card of attachment. And when it's in your shadow, it tells me about, there were some attachment issues when you were younger, and not feeling like you belonged, and not feeling, feeling maybe, well, it could be some abandonment issues as well. So just not making healthy attachments when you were younger. And if you don't have those healthy attachments and people that to love you, well, then you do carry around this sense of you don't matter. And that's what's going on here in your shadow, are these feelings of not mattering because of the attachments that you didn't have, the healthy attachments you didn't make when you were younger. And in particular, you have the Seven of Wands, and this is one of my favorite cards in the deck, because it kind of reminds me of me, where I'm on this journey to heal, and very much a lonely journey, because not many people understand your own journey when you're trying to heal, because it's your journey, it's your personal journey. And you often have people here at the bottom here that become very threatened by your journey and don't understand. I had to go no contact with my own family because they weren't there to validate me. They weren't there to support me. And here are these people not wanting to support you, not wanting to validate you. And so when you were younger, you didn't have the validation. You didn't have the support from people around you. And this explains why you don't have these you have these attachment issues, because you didn't have the support and the love and the compassion that you needed when you were younger. And you have this Knight of Swords here, and this is the Knight. Knights in my deck are like this adolescent part of us that's just wanting to be free. Free to be themselves, and we fight our whole life to be free. Everybody does. They just want to be free to be themselves. And this Knight has this sort of authenticity, their truth in their hand. And so you wanted freedom to be you so badly, maybe freedom to be noticed. And so when this Knight is in reverse and wasn't allowed to be authentic, wasn't allowed to be themselves, and I'm wondering if, there's some controlling energy with this ego self coming out here. And so I'm wondering if maybe there's some anger, some buried anger here that you need to get to, because, you're feeling unworthy, that this unworthiness is coming up, this shame. So maybe there's some anger that you need to get to, or maybe there's some real hopelessness that's coming up for you, because the situation that you're in was quite hopeless, where you didn't have people to support you or have compassion for you. And that can bring on some feelings of anger, because the anger will often defend the feeling of grief that needs to come up. There's some grief that needs to come up with this Page of Pentacle right here. And then you end with the Chariot card in your shadow. And the Chariot card is the card of somebody that's been trying to control these sphinxes all their life, and there's no reins on them, and they're not even moving. And so it's like when you were younger, you tried so hard to control the situation, but it wasn't even a situation to control. It wasn't something that you could have controlled with your mind. The Chariot card talks about going inwards and getting in touch with your emotions. Well, when you were younger, these were big emotions. There was no way you were going inwards. You weren't going to deal with this shame and this unworthiness that people felt for you. And this is why this inner card of shame right now is coming up. This unworthiness is coming up for you to heal, because you couldn't handle it. You couldn't hold on to it when you were younger. And so you just try to control it in your head, right? The ego self is actually the part that will protect us when we were younger, and it will keep us up in our head, because it knows that you can't go to your emotions because they're too big for you to handle when you were younger. It's almost like a protector of us when we're younger, actually. And so this is the shame, this unworthiness that's coming up from not being supported when you were younger. And here you are, this page that needs to heal right now. And so what's the advice from the tarot here? And obviously you need to heal the shame that's coming up. You need to grieve. This Page of Pentacles coming up here. And then this whole patience card, my throat's bothering me right now. This whole patience card that's coming up here, I think a big part of the patience is with this Three of Cups here going, well, I don't, and this Four of Pentacles in front of it, where it's kind of like you're feeling like you're not getting far, and you're wanting to shut down, and you're getting fed up, and you think, well, where am I getting with this journey? I'm getting nowhere. And the patience card is like, this is such a journey. This is such a journey where you have to have the patience. It's kind of like, it's not something you can rush. It's just a matter of trusting the universe. And the Emperor card comes in reverse here. And the Emperor card, and it's clarified by the moon, but the Emperor card is like a father figure in upright position. The Emperor represents this real masculine, solid, controlling individual that kind of rules by these creates these societal laws that we're supposed to follow. So it's a very controlling individual. And I'm going to say here that it's in reverse here. And I'm going to say that I think this kind of shows where, you know, there's a part of you that wants to continue to control the situation. And I think that a big part of this whole reading is that, you know, sometimes this moon comes out behind this, and it's in reverse. It's like, I think you're there's a resistance to you feeling that, or knowing that, or accepting that, you know, there are parts of this that you don't see right now. There are some things that you don't see. And we try so much on this journey to try to control our outcomes, want things our way when certain things are happening in our life. Like, I want something now. I want this to happen now. And we get frustrated, and that's when we think, well, we're getting nowhere on this journey because it's not happening now. And that's where the patience card is coming in here, because this kind of says, well, you know, you can't control this. And it, like I said, it's a part of accepting that there are things here. It's all about universal timing, right? It's not up to us. It's about certain things need to happen and be put in place before, you know, things happen. Even though we want it to happen now, and we want this journey to happen, right? We want certain things. We want to get healed right now, right? We want this to be all over with right now too. And then the next card that came up was the Tower card. And this I was trying to confused about, because I'm not sure what this tower is meaning here, because whether it was supposed to be upside down, sideways, but there's a big tower card here. Maybe there's going to be a tower moment that's coming up. And it's not necessarily, it doesn't have to be something that's going to be incredibly, you know, full of pain, and it could be, but the Tower card comes in when, you know, things have been happening in your life. Sometimes it's about red flags that have been showing up and you're kind of ignoring them. And sometimes it's like, you know, the universe says, well, there's something that's coming up that is kind of like a baseball bat from the universe, and says, boom, you know, this is going to happen. So it's like a universal moment that's going to come in. It's going to shock you, kind of like hit you on the side of the head and go, whoa. But when it's all said and done, when it's all over, it's like you understand why that happened. You don't understand what it is right now. You don't understand what you're going through right now. But when it's all over, after this tower moment, it's like, oh, I see what's going on. So I'm not sure, because if it were upside down, because it was sideways, like I said, so maybe there's like a possible tower moment here that could happen. That could be it. If you know, it's requiring you to have patience. But sometimes if we don't have patience and we push things when we know we need to have patience, and we're trying to push things to happen because we don't see the bigger picture yet and we're becoming impatient, sometimes that kind of says, well, you know, then there could be a tower moment, because the universe is saying you need to wait. And maybe that sounds more like what's going on here, because it did come this way. You need to wait. This could be, if you don't wait, if you're very impatient and you push things and you force things to happen, like the Emperor, you know, you use your control to push things, but there's certain things that are hidden from you that you need to wait. The universe is saying, no, it's time to wait. And then this could go either way if you don't wait. So I'm going to leave this sideways for now, because I feel like that's what it's supposed to be now. Kind of like, you know, this could go either way here. It's like it's a balancing act. Depends on how you you know, what cards you play, but it's wanting you to be patient right now. It's kind of like people will interpret this as like the temperance card, I guess. But for me, temperance doesn't mean wait. I like to use temperance as middle ground. But this one's definitely saying, you know, I think we need some. I think you need some patience. You know, we don't know what the bigger picture is, but so we have two more cards here. Now the two cards that come in are amazing, are absolutely amazing, because I've been talking to you about how there's two kings in this king. There were one king. Was there another king? I thought there was an. Oh, the Emperor card has come out. That's masculine, very masculine, heavy masculine. Oh, there's the king. Yes, there were two kings. And so our masculine ego self being in our head has been come up. And that's kind of like the masculine side of you is very driven, wants things now, doesn't want to wait. You know, where the feminine side will say, slow down. It's time to get still. It's time to get patient. And guess what? We end off with two feminine cards here. Here's our feminine side. And the feminine side to us says, it's time to get still. It would be the side that has patience. And it's time to wait a bit here, right? And like some of you might be going, no, I'm not waiting. I don't want to. But the Queen of Pentacles comes in and it says, it's a very important time right now to get back into your body and to keep grounding and to learn how to ground yourself. She's the queen. She's the feminine side of us, and she's the queen of the pentacle. She's the queen of the body. She makes all her decisions from her body. She feels from her body. There's some shame here. There's some healing that has to be done with the shame here. But there's a bigger part too that it says you need to get back into your body and you need to get still, because you need to stay out of your head, because the ego self wants you in your head. But there's some, I think this is some time for patience, time for calmness. And it's funny because, well, I guess I'll talk about this before I get to the Empress. But like I told you, I'm an Aquarian, and just the last few days, I'm usually working through something and working on a memory, and because I have complex trauma, so I'm always, emotions are coming up, and I'm always working through something, and I'm always healing. And just the last few days have been very quiet for me, and it's like, this is weird. And you know, the ego self will say, okay, you're done healing, you're all done now, you don't have to heal anymore. And that's kind of funny, because that's when I know that it's like, no. But it's almost like, I feel like it's like a calm right now before a storm. It's the calm before the storm right now. Here's the Tower card, right? And this reading is kind of saying to me, you know, get calm, get grounded. And the Empress card comes in. Here's a Major Arcana card. And she is the feminine energy in the Major Arcana. She's actually the second half. The first half is the High Priestess, which is our intuition. And this card is the other quality. It's the Empress, and she's everything to do with getting back in your body and feeling your emotions. Everything to do with your emotions. And so very much a time right now, Aquarius, of grounding. I'm going to give you a playlist on grounding. And there's some shame here that needs to be healed. So I'm going to give you a playlist on shame as well. And but the grounding is very important. It's going to be a time of grounding here. It's a time to wait. You know, there's something maybe that's coming in here. And it's not time to push and force things your way and try to control things right now. That's the ego self. It's time to just calm before the storm. It's time to have patience. And I know most people don't want to hear that, right? But you don't see the bigger picture. I think it's like I said, this moon card is saying, you know, there's some things that are hidden here. The universe knows the big picture. We don't. We only know it after the fact. So, and I can't sit here and tell you what the bigger picture is. I can't. It's not for me to tell you what the future is for you, right? But I'm going to give you a spirit card here just to end your reading. You have two, but I'm just going to take this top one here. Oh boy. The top one is Giraffe Spirit. See the big picture. Okay. If that's not enough, I don't know. Oh, okay. Yeah. Of course I'm laughing because I'm Aquarius. So, okay, see the big picture. All right. Giraffes stretch upward to reach the treetops and look down from a high vantage point. When Giraffe Spirit appears, it's a sign to observe from a higher view. In all aspects of your life, it's time to stretch your neck out and broaden your view. Open your eyes to what others need or are experiencing and see the big picture you fit into. No matter how great your wisdom, your knowledge, or experience, you don't want to overlook details and connections that will help you better understand yourself and your circumstances. So stretch yourself. Look beyond what catches your attention at eye level and know that not everything is as obvious as you might like it to be. I like that. Not everything is as obvious as you might like it to be. And that's the Moon card where it says some things are still hidden from you. Spirit will bestow upon you a new perspective that might make all the difference. Aquarius, have compassion for yourself and have patience for yourself this month, because I don't know what this Tower moment means. This is the most difficult journey of your life, but it's the most important one. I will talk to you in 2 weeks and maybe we'll figure out what the Tower card is together, right? Maybe we'll talk about that. So take care, and I'll see you in 2 weeks. Bye-bye.